In this video, we'll be using Laser Ammo's Open Range to make some single string stages of the GSF courses of fire. Your 5 to Glock, your Glock the plates, and Glock M. From the GSF matches I went to, there are like two versions of 5 to Glock, so I put in both of them to practice with. And then, of course, the Glock plates. I've only seen one variant of the Glock M. I'm sure there's more, but you can always find them and put them in yourself and create them. But what I did is I looked on the web for a GSF target and took the editor and colored out the edges here, because that's what you need to do for the media manager. So in the media manager, what I ended up doing for scoring, because you can't exactly have 0 for 0, because everything else is 0, it considers it a miss. So I'd have to pretty much have this area as scoring 5, and then have that area scoring 5, and then the other ones I could do 1 and 3. So when I'm looking at the results, and if I see, it's 2 shots on paper, so if I see a score, 2 on each in the 5 area, then I just know that doesn't count against the time, and I do that as 0. And of course, if I see anything that's a 1 or a 3, then you add those on to your time. But once you import it in here and mark out your scoring zone areas, the default is 0, which is everything. Just save it, and then you can start using it in the actual editor. So in the editor part, like I said, I only did single string. I mean, you do a couple of these really, but I've had issues, or maybe I just don't know how to program it correctly for the strings to wait and then repeat on it for it to start. Are you ready? Stand by. And then the buzzard sound, it just goes. I've seen it go straight into the next string, which maybe there's some setting I'm missing on there. I don't know. I gotta play with that a little bit more. But editing the stage on this Glock M. This one was, these are all at the distances that I pulled off the GSF website for the target distances in yards. So, and this was one variant I saw at BGSL last year for the Glock M. And variant 2. And this was one I saw over in Versailles, Indiana. That was just straight across, same distances, just different way to engage the targets. Of course, your Glock the plates is your standard state plate rack. At the distance, all this is just going off the distance that was on the GSF courses of fire. And of course, Glock M. And I mean, I've seen some with different kind of poppers, but the last one I saw had a circle in the middle. And of course, all these distances are the same. So you can create all the stages that you want or all the variants even that you've seen at your GSF matches that you go to. And you can plug them in here and then run through them. And you can use Open Range 2 to run through each of these.
Are you ready? Stand by.
So to tally them up, I usually look on the score or the stage review over here on the scoring, and anything with the 5 I ignore because those are all 0s, and then anything with the 1 or the 3, then I would add that to the last shot time for the final scoring to, at least gauge and practice for what to expect out of the match. Block in.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And of course, this one hit one right here, you know, you have to just remember that, yeah, that one, not actually the time, it's just the plate rack that they had. It's worth 1 point if you hit it. So, you know, just review your scores, and you can always drill through each one to see where you hit on the target, in case you have any questions on what it was, or your shot calling, or so forth. So let's run through this with the actual pistol. So that concludes this video of how you can use Open Range to create your own GSSF stages for you to practice for GSSF. The Competitive Shooter Pro is also eventually going to come out with one as well. So there will probably be 2 places you create. Of course, there are targets you don't have to import and do all the special things I did. They should just have them there. So I'm looking forward to that as well with the Competitive Shooter Pro. Also, in the meantime, you know, you can use Open Range to create stuff for GSSF, as well as any kind of other drills and any kind of other courses of fire, or just practice practice stages that you want. Remember to check them out, laserammo.com.